Alright guys, I'm going to open up the video with a disclaimer instead of my usual intro, given the fact that the subject here is potentially a very hot topic that I'm sure many people are going to have differing opinions on, and that disclaimer is this. Keep the respect factor into consideration as well as be civil with one another in the comments down below. If you disagree with what's being talked about here, that's absolutely fine, and if you agree with everything that's being talked about here, that's fine. But if you guys happen to disagree with one another in the comments down below, I ask you guys to please keep it civil and respectful with one another, because at the end of the day, this is just a discussion, and I want to hear what it is you guys have to say in regards to what we're going to be talking about here. So with that being said, let's get underway with the video. And the subject of this video is, and I quote, Pokemon players want Bandai Namco to replace Game Freak after new Pokemon Snap. And you know what? I'm already tasting some spice just from the title by itself. Following the release of new Pokemon Snap in April, some fans of Nintendo series are now asking for other developers to make mainline Pokemon titles instead of Game Freak. After years of being dormant, the Pokemon Snap franchise was finally revived in 2021 with the release of new Pokemon Snap on the Nintendo Switch. The long-awaited sequel introduced players to the Lental region with 214 new Pokemon to take pictures of across its gorgeous locales. The photography title was so well received after its launch that it's left some in the community wondering why the mainline RPG series doesn't look this good. In a viral thread online, some fans opened up about why they now want other developers to tackle the series instead of Game Freak. Alright, so I already have a couple of things to say here in regards to what we just read out, and I'm going to try to be fair and balanced here. Now, I believe the reason why new Pokemon Snap, when it comes to the graphics, absolutely slaps Pokemon Sword and Shield out of the water in comparison is because new Pokemon Snap is meant to be graphically appealing. It is obviously a game that primarily focuses on taking pictures of Pokemon. So when a game has a primary basis like that, then obviously the graphics are going to, more likely than not, be the main focus to make the game look as graphically pleasing as possible. Now, as far as the mention of Game Freak here goes, I can kind of understand why Game Freak is brought up here in this light. I mean, if we were to rehash on even 10% of the controversies that is Pokemon Sword and Shield, and to be more specific, bring back National Dex, I'm pretty sure that like 90% of you guys that are viewing this video can understand why people are still, to this day, still somewhat critical of the Pokemon Sword and Shield games, as well as being critical of Game Freak. And one of the biggest reasons that Game Freak is still, to this day, criticized is because they were dishonest with their fan base back in 2019 when it came to the reasoning of there not being a national Pokédex, because it was in favor of not just battle balance, which, by the way, Dynamax says hi, one of the most unbalanced mechanics that there is, you know what I'm saying? Just keeping it $1.50 here, but also they were talking about there being animations and that they were going to be making it so that there would be better quality animations and all that stuff. But when you go to actually play the game, there's quite the amount of animations that are either reused or just outright terrible. And not to mention as well, they reused assets from past games rather than building new ones here to make them look even somewhat graphically appealing for a Generation 8 Pokemon game on the Nintendo Switch. Fans want other developers to make Pokemon games. The fandom debate was kicked off when a viral thread on the r/Pokemon subreddit posted a meme comparing the mainline RPG's animations to new Pokemon Snap. While a joke, the topic immediately sparked a discussion among the community about future titles. Well, if I can just add this in here real quick, you know what they say about jokes, right? Jokes tend to have a little bit of truth behind them, so I'm sure the person that posted this joke knew what they were doing. But let's carry on here. Many users were floored with not only new Pokemon Snap's stunning visuals, but the mind-blowing variety of animations that the game has. Players then began to compare the 2021 title with Gen 8's Sword and Shield, as well as the trailer for the upcoming release, Legends Arceus. While the photography release is on rails, 214 Mon each having their own special animations is still incredibly impressive. This led some fans to argue that Game Freak needs to let other developers make mainline Pokemon projects. And if I could go off on a tangent here, they definitely need to do a remaster of the Pokemon Stadium games. Those games were fucking amazing. And to the last sentence right there, we are getting Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl being made by Ilka, not Game Freak. Ilka, a completely different company when it comes to the creation of Pokemon games. So how Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl are going to turn out when the release happens is going to be very, 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 very interesting, and it's going to obviously generate a lot of interest, and I personally can't wait to see how these games turn out. I know that these are faithful remakes to the original Gen 4 games, but it's still going to be very much an exciting time for Pokemon fans, especially if you are a Sinnoh fan. Shout out to Infamous, by the way, because Sinnoh is his region. And this right here is the meme in question. Playing Pokemon Snap currently, and damn. On the left side, Pokemon main game animations, and on the right side, Pokemon spin-off game animations. And you can put the two graphics together in comparison, and I think you guys get the idea here. And there is some truth behind this. Giving the development of a game to a secondary company is just a big favor for us, one fan wrote. Another exclaimed, "This is generally the reason I have hope for the Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl remakes." Other users continued to be critical of how Legends Arceus looks. Imagine Legends Arceus, but made by Monolith, Atlus, Square Enix, etc. That game would be the Pokemon Breath of the Wild we wish we had. Game Freak really felt comfortable showing us the Pokemon moving at like 2 frames per second. I mean, to be fair here, the trailer didn't exactly look the best, especially with the animation of the Chingling moving. That right there was god-awful. I'm not gonna lie there. But another thing I'm not gonna lie about is this fact. This game comes out next year, so between the initial reveal, which was all the way back in February, versus the release date, which is sometime next year, there's going to be some time and opportunity to brush up on the games in terms of the graphics and other little bits and pieces here and there that need brushing up. And the thing is as well is that there's also the good old disclaimer that the game footage is not final in small lettering on the bottom portion of the trailer. Now, with that being said, is a year enough time to be able to make improvements on the game? I am going to be open-minded and to be fair here and say yes, but I could very well be wrong. The trailer and the end product could very well be one and the same, and there could be some pretty major graphical problems if they don't choose to brush up on them and make them better and more fluid in terms of animations. Not every fan was buying the argument though. Several users pointed out that it was unfair to compare new Pokemon Snap to the mainline RPGs, which are much bigger. I think Sword and Shield are ass and the product of clearly rushed development, but this is such a stupid comparison to make when New Snap is an on-rails short, manicured experience versus an RPG with 400 Pokemon in it that can each learn dozens of different moves, one wrote. Well, I'm not going to argue there. They technically are correct in the facts that they point out here, and I will say that when it comes to the mainline RPGs of Pokemon, they technically aren't exactly known for being the best graphically here, but at the same time, let's also put this on the table too. with the graphics of new Pokemon Snap, there isn't a reason why Game Freak can't at least try to make the mainline Pokemon games at least a little bit more graphically appealing. It doesn't have to be exactly a mirror of new Pokemon Snap graphics, but they should at least try to step up. You know what I mean? As gorgeous as new Pokemon Snap is, it can't be understated enough that it's a completely different genre of game. It should also be said that Game Freak is a relatively small team developer-wise, and are making massive RPGs in a short time frame compared to similar projects. And that's just it, you know, to especially that last point right there in that paragraph, considering the amount of time that Game Freak gives themselves in between releases of games, they should really enlist the help of other developing companies to make the games a lot better. Sure, you would have to pay those developers more money and stuff like that, but the games would come out most likely a lot better because you would have more hands on deck for the project, and that would also potentially turn out more profit in regards to the amount of sales that the games would make. So it's legitimately a win-win right here, I think. Like, why not invest more into the development of the games? Why not invest more money, more time, and more hands on deck? And you will most likely have more and more fans purchase those games and be a lot happier with that product in comparison to what the current product is today from Game Freak. With the Sinnoh remakes being handed off to third-party developer Ilka, perhaps the franchise will find a better balance in the future, with the mainline gen releases getting more time for polish. One thing is certain, the Nintendo franchise has been criticized for years for its graphics and animations, and that critique doesn't seem to be going away anytime soon. And again, it's like I said, the main series Pokemon games aren't most notable for their graphics, but after seeing what new Pokemon Snap can do when it comes to graphics and animations, there's absolutely no reason that Game Freak can't at least attempt to improve in regards to graphics and animations and make the games a lot better, and that right there will make the outcome a lot better for fans when it comes to their reviews and opinions and experiences on said Pokemon games. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, at the end of the day, these are just my own opinions, takes, and observations. What are your guys' thoughts on what we discussed here in today's video? I'd love to hear what it is you guys have to say in the comments down below. Thank you guys very much for watching. Thank you for your time. Have yourself a damn good one. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next video.